Have you ever had that gut feeling that someone isn't being entirely straight with you? It's a universal human experience, that subtle sense of unease when words don't quite match the reality. We see people in conversation, some looking perfectly at ease, others shifting uncomfortably, their eyes darting away. The question flashes through our minds, are they telling the truth? While there's no foolproof method, understanding certain behavioral cues can offer valuable insights. This isn't about becoming a human lie detector, but about sharpening your perception and learning to read the signs that might suggest deception. Let's start with the things people say, the verbal cues. Picture this. Sarah is asking her colleague, Mark, about a missing project file in their office. When she brings it up, Mark's response is a little off. He hesitates before answering, his usually steady speech suddenly speeding up and then slowing down erratically. He avoids taking direct ownership, using vague, distancing language. Instead of saying, "I didn't see the file," he might say, "That file wasn't on the desk when that person was last here." He might also over-explain, providing a flood of unnecessary details in an attempt to sound more convincing. These verbal red flags, like changes in speech pace, a sudden increase in formality, and the use of distancing language, are often the first indication that something isn't quite right. Next, we move to what isn't said, the powerful realm of nonverbal cues. Back in the office, as Sarah continues her questions, Mark's body language tells its own story. He initially avoids eye contact, looking down at his desk. Then, as if realizing his mistake, he locks his gaze onto Sarah's, but it's held for an unnaturally long time, feeling more like a challenge than a connection. His hands are restless. He's clicking a pen open and shut, over and over. For just a split second, a flicker of fear crosses his face before he quickly schools it into a neutral expression. This fleeting, involuntary reaction is called a micro-expression. These nonverbal signals, from inconsistent eye contact and fidgeting to revealing micro-expressions, can often betray the emotions a person is trying to conceal. However, the real key to spotting deception isn't about finding a single tell. It's about recognizing a pattern, what experts call the cluster approach. A single cue is almost meaningless. For instance, Mark scratching his nose could simply mean he has an itch. People fidget for all sorts of reasons. They might just be nervous or have a lot of energy. But when you see a cluster of these cues happening together, it becomes far more significant. Imagine seeing Mark not just fidgeting with his pen, but also simultaneously avoiding eye contact, using distancing language, and showing a brief micro-expression of distress when asked a direct question. When these different verbal and nonverbal signals all pile up at the same time, it paints a much more compelling picture. This combination of contradictory signals is what should truly grab your attention. Understanding these cues can be a powerful tool in your interpersonal toolkit, helping you navigate conversations with a greater sense of awareness. It's about looking beyond the surface and paying attention to the full spectrum of communication. But it's crucial to remember that these signs are indicators, not definitive proof of a lie. Always consider the context, the person's baseline behavior, and the possibility of other stressors. The goal isn't to accuse, but to ask better questions and seek clarity when something feels off. After all, effective communication is built on a foundation of understanding, not just hearing the words being said.